Today, in today's video, we are going to be listing some of the royals' top and go-to clothing brands. The British royal family is not only known for their prestige, their royal engagements, their royal tours, and their amazing charity work, they are also known for their incredible sense of style. If you're a fan of the royal family, you will know that as soon as they wear a piece of clothing, it usually sells out within the first couple of days. While the royal family tend to opt for more expensive and extravagant clothing during their most high profile and big state events, this is not the case at home or on smaller engagements, with some royals actually opting to just wear jeans and t-shirt. While this is not the same for every single royal will have their different prerogative of what they want to wear on a different day, but unless it's a really big event or a state visit or something like that, the royals will usually opt for high street brands. So traditionally, the royal family do get their specially made outfits made by fashion designers, and this is usually the case still to this day for coronations and weddings. But most of the time, if it's an engagement, or just a normal engagement that they are meeting a patronage or something like that, they usually opt for more high street brands. For those that don't know, a high street brand is used to describe clothes that can be brought in an ordinary shop in ordinary cities and towns rather than being specially made by fashion designers, and the royal family opts for these a lot. So without further ado, let's start this video. Let's list some of the royal family's go-to brands. And if you'd like to find out more about how you can grab yourself some royally approved clothing, the link will be in the description. So first up on our list of royally approved clothing brands is Pepper London. So Pepper London is a bespoke children's brand that caters for children, I think, from about 6 months to 10 years, and it's created by Pepper Gonzalez. It's really easy to recognise Pepper London's amazing clothing because they're very traditional, and I think that's what the royal family like about them. But not only that, they also stole the show at Pippa Middleton's wedding, where all of her page boys and flower girls were actually wearing their bespoke outfits. This is definitely one of the Princess of Wales's most favourite children's brands. Her eldest, Prince George, has been seen wearing it, as has Princess Charlotte, who has also worn many of their frocks. So yeah, it's definitely a favourite of the Princess of Wales, and her children seem to like the clothing as well, and yeah, they are very, very nice clothing as well. Definitely traditional with a little bit of a modern kick as well, which I think is lovely. I think the other reason why the Princess of Wales loves this go-to children's brand for our 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, is because it's a very sort of progressive children's brand. It's got traditional clothing in it with a modern touch to it. And I think that's just fantastic because, you know, they're keeping, obviously, sort of very traditional clothing going and making it appeal to younger children. But not only that, it's very stylish as well. And I think that's what she likes about it. So yes, if you'd like to find out more about this well-loved and royally approved children's clothing brand, you can visit the link in our description and go and have a scroll through their amazing clothing yourself and find out what all the hype is about. But yes, that's Pepper London, and that's first on our list. Up next is another very well-known children's brand. It's Rachel Riley. So Rachel Riley is an award-winning British brand which has been dressing royal babies and children for over 25 years. The collections are sold worldwide in leading department stores, independent shops, and children's wear websites. Rachel Riley is also a TV presenter as well. So yes, Rachel Riley's clothing brand, which in this country is called Rachel Riley London, it does have a US store as well, is another one of the Princess of Wales's favourite children's brands. So yes, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis have actually been wearing this brand since they were babies, and Rachel Riley is another favourite of the Prince and Princess of Wales when choosing clothing for their 3 children. So yeah, we often see the Prince and Princess of Wales' 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, wearing their clothing quite a lot. Princess Charlotte here sporting the beautiful dress, and then obviously Prince Louis, last troop in the colour, he sported their shorts. But yes, Rachel Riley's clothing brand does a wide range of amazing clothing for boys, girls, newborns. It's an amazing brand. So yes, Rachel Riley is sold in major sort of department stores, but it is online if you can't find one near you. So you can, go and scroll through their amazing array of clothing. So yes, again, if you want more information about Rachel Riley, it'll be linked in the description. Up next on our list of royally approved clothing brands, we have British brand Boden. So yes, Boden is a British clothing retailer selling primarily online and by mail order and catalogue. It was founded by Johnny Boden in 1991 as a mail order business, and the company sells in several countries and has websites for United Kingdom, Australia and the United States, as well as Germany too. So yes, the Princess of Wales absolutely loves Boden. She loves that it's also sustainable as well. She loves their sustainability pledge as well, which I think makes Boden so unique on this list. So yes, a number of royals have actually been seen wearing Boden's classic clothing. Princess Charlotte especially, last year in her 8th birthday photo taken by Millie Pilkington, wore a Boden jumper. Princess Charlotte has also been spotted wearing their classic striped t-shirt. For Prince George's 8th birthday photo, he opted for some Boden shorts. So yes, Boden is another one of the Princess of Wales' go-to brands when buying clothes for herself or her children. And as you can see above, she is sporting another Boden dress. So yes, Boden, as it's primarily online, you'd have to go to their website or order yourself a catalogue and then obviously order something online if you saw something that you liked. They cater for women, girls, boys, baby and toddler. And they also have a sale on at the moment. So if you want to go and have a look at that, I'll link their website down in the description. I have actually bought from Boden before and they are fantastic, as are all the brands on this list. But yes, there we go, that's Boden for you. Right, on to the next brand. Up next, we have a little bit of a luxury brand, but it's still a high street classic. So yes, we are on to Burberry now, and they are a global luxury brand with a rich British heritage. They were founded in 1856 and their brand was underpinned by their founder's passion for the outdoors. So yes, the Princess of Wales has sported Burberry quite a lot of times on royal engagements and she loves this brand. So yeah, Burberry mainly focuses on outdoor clothing, but they do, you know, hoodies, t-shirts, shorts, dresses, that kind of stuff. So yes, Burberry is quite well known. It has stores and it also has a website, obviously, so you can either go in store and try it on and buy it, or you can order online, as you can with most shops these days. But yes, they cater for women, men, children, and they have bags, gifts, stuff like that. Burberry is also worn by King Charles III, who wears them for coats, and he's also been spotted in Burberry suits and ties as well. It's not just the king that enjoys wearing Burberry, also Queen Camilla has also been spotted wearing their coats and dresses. Although their clothing may be on the pricey end, they are really good clothing. Up next on our list of royally approved brands is Anderson & Shepherd. Anderson & Shepherd are very well known for making men's bespoke suits, and King Charles has been seen very many times wearing them. However, their suits do not come cheap. So in order to actually afford one of these bespoke suits, they range from anything to about £400 to about £2,000. So yes, Anderson & Shepherd has to be one of the most expensive brands on our list today, but they are a very respected brand. So Anderson & Shepherd have a very rich history for their bespoke suit tailoring company. They are a fantastic company. They're obviously, you know, I could not afford these suits, but I know some people that can if you have that sort of money. They are on the very high price range, but obviously their brand is very, very fantastic, and they have that prestige in the industry as well, and they do quite a lot of stuff. So yeah, go give their website a read. It's brilliant. Up next, we have one of the Duchess of Edinburgh's favourite brands, Max Mara. So Max Mara is a Italian sort of fashion business, and their clothing is quite practical, considering it's quite expensive. Obviously, Max Mara, all of their clothing is mainly a bit expensive, but they do have clothing ranging from about £50 to £2,000. So just depending on what you buy will depend the price of it. But Max Mara is very respected in the industry. And not only is it respected, it also is very fashionable. And, you know, they sort of like have a style for everybody. And the Duchess of Edinburgh really likes this brand. Up next, we have outdoor luxury brand Barbour, and this is a favourite among members of the royal family. So yes, many members of the royal family have worn this famous brand, including the Princess of Wales, the Prince of Wales, the late Princess Diana has worn this brand, the late Queen wore this brand, Princess Royal has worn this brand, so yeah, it's well loved. So yes, if you're wondering what Barbour is famous for, they're famous for their sweaters, their moleskin clothing, and their Tattersall shirts. And they entered the waterproof breathable market with its own waterproof liners. And that's what they're famous for. So they are an outdoor clothing that's very well respected, and they cater for men, women. They have lots of accessories on their website, and they cater for children as well. So yeah, they're a brilliant brand, and they are probably more in the affordable price range, and they also have free delivery as well, which I think is quite handy. But yes, another great high street brand. So up next, we're back at the children's clothing, and this time we're looking at Olivia London, and Prince Louis wore their cashmere jumper for his 4th birthday photo shoot. So I couldn't really find out that much about Olivia London because they are more of a smaller business, which shows that the Prince and Princess of Wales, as well as supporting established shops, they support small ones. I personally think it's just so wonderful that the Prince and Princess of Wales have chosen to, you know, support small businesses as well as, you know, more well-known businesses. Prince Louis is not the only one to love this brand. His elder brother, Prince George, first publicly wore the Olivia blue jumper when he was around 2 years old. So although this brand is a smaller business, the Wales family have obviously loved this brand for quite a long time, because Prince George obviously wore this brand when he was younger, and then Prince Louis is now wearing their jumpers, which I think is just so wonderful. But yes, Olivia London is another one of those brands that is more sustainable, and it's another one of the Prince and Princess of Wales' favourite brands. Up next, we have John Lewis and Partners. The Princess of Wales wears a lot of John Lewis. She can be seen at some engagements, you know, wearing some shoes from John Lewis, or she has been seen wearing, you know, tops and trousers from John Lewis. She shops in John Lewis apparently quite a lot, and her children also wear a lot of John Lewis clothing. Prince George was first spotted in John Lewis on his first day at nursery in Norfolk, where he sported their little duffel coat, which was so cute. In 2018, Prince George sported this very cool John Lewis polo shirt while watching his dad play polo. Princess Charlotte was seen on her 2nd birthday sporting a John Lewis jumper. Who else absolutely loved this jumper on Princess Charlotte? Because I love this jumper. Back in 2020, Princess Charlotte also posed with her father for Father's Day in this adorable John Lewis dungarees. But it's not just Princess Charlotte and Prince George that like the brand. Prince Louis also likes the brand. He was seen wearing a little stripy jumper from John Lewis. Prince Louis sported this jumper back when he was around 2 years old, and he asked David Attenborough a very important question while he sported this John Lewis classic. Princess Charlotte sported a John Lewis t-shirt when her mother pictured her contributing to the butterfly watch. This photo of Princess Charlotte was taken back in 2021, and again, she featured wearing John Lewis. When Prince George turned 8, a beautiful new photograph was shared, and he was sporting a John Lewis polo shirt. This photo of Prince George was taken back in 2021. So John Lewis is a massive retailer here in the UK. It's known as John Lewis and Partners because it also has Waitrose as a partner, and it has loads and loads of brands that it sells. It doesn't just sell its own brands; it sells other people's brands. So it has sold Boden in its shops before, which we mentioned earlier on in the video. But John Lewis is a massive retailer, and it has everything from, you know, computer gadgets to new TVs to furniture, you know, to food. Sometimes you can go there and have it, you know, a little bit of food. It has home and garden, it has children's wear, women's wear, men's wear, it has babies wear, it has toys and gifts. Basically, John Lewis has basically everything, and yeah, it's a fantastic store. So by now you're probably wondering, well, you haven't mentioned where Prince William gets his suits from. Well, we're going to mention that now. So, Prince William reportedly gets his suits from Tom Sweeney, which he's been seen on a number of occasions wearing the famous brand. So for those who don't know, Tom Sweeney is a high-profile sort of men's tailored for company. They make tailored shirts, tailored suits, and, you know, they're very, very high-profile. They have bases in London, New York, and LA, and apparently Prince William goes there to get his suits. Up next, we have another one of the Prince and Princess of Wales' favourite children's brands. It's Maya Kids, and we mostly see this on Princess Charlotte. Although all of the Prince and Princess of Wales' 3 children absolutely love Amaya Kids, like they love all of the brands that they wear, Princess Charlotte is the one who wears Amaya Kids the most. She's always seen in Amaya Kids. She's either wearing a coat from them, or some shoes from them, or a cardigan or a skirt. So Princess Charlotte is one of their children that wears the most Amaya Kids out in public, especially. Prince George has obviously worn Amaya Kids in the past out in public. He's worn their bespoke baby cardigan back in 2015 when he went to see Princess Charlotte when she was born. And then Prince Louis has been spotted in Amaya Kids wearing their bespoke coat. So Amaya Kids, or Amaya London as it's known as, was created by a Spanish fashion designer called Amaya Arita. Apologies if I said that wrong, but they sort of specialise in traditional but also bespoke children's clothing. So yes, as you can see, this brand, although it's based in London, it's actually got Spanish heritage behind it, because the founder and designer is actually Spanish. So yes, we have seen Princess Charlotte wear this brand quite a lot, but their clothing is such high quality for young children. It's very robust because children are always playing all the time, but it's not just that. They cater for newborns, they cater for young children, all the way up to 8 years old, I think I read somewhere. They've been featured quite a lot, they've won awards, and not only that, they also make sustainable clothing as well, so it's very, environmentally friendly. They also have stylish and affordable children's clothing, and I think it's just so wonderful. So yes, if you'd like to learn more about Amaya Kids, or Amaya London as it's also known as, it'll be linked in the description. Up next we have Trotters. So Trotters, or Trotters UK, is a children's clothing brand, and they mainly specialise in children's accessories, children's clothing, and children's footwear. Prince George on a number of occasions has been spotted wearing Trotters shoes. But it's not just Prince George that fell in love with these famous shoes. Princess Charlotte also got a pair of Trotters shoes, and they're reported at the time to be hand-me-downs from big brother Prince George. Princess Charlotte also modelled a beautiful Trotters dress for her 8th birthday portraits. Prince Louis also sported Trotters for his birthday portrait this year. Prince Louis was seen happily lying on a colourful mat in a Trotters shirt, which was a hand-me-down from big brother Prince George. So yes, as I've said, Trotters is a British brand. It has a store in London, but it also is online, so you can, again, order stuff online. It specialises in footwear. It has children's clothing. It also uniquely has a hairdressers as well inside the shop. How amazing is that? That is amazing. Imagine going shopping and having your hair done at the same time. That is so cool. Anyway, that coolness aside, the royal family are big fans of Trotters, as they are with many of these brands on this list. Up next, we're going to showcase some of the Duchess of Edinburgh's amazing fashion. Unlike the Prince and Princess of Wales, the Duchess of Edinburgh opts for more designer brands. This means that, like the King, many of them actually aren't on the high street. However, there is one high street brand that most people know about that actually has a store and a number of stores in London and across the world, and that is Prada. The Duchess of Edinburgh loves Prada, and here she is in one of their dresses. The Duchess of Edinburgh always puts on an incredible look. Here she is at the Easter service this year, wearing a Prada coat. Obviously, Prada is a designer brand, but it is one of the Duchess of Edinburgh's favourite brands that is actually on the high street, because the Duchess of Edinburgh, a lot of her clothing, she prefers to get tailored or get it online and stuff like that. But one of them that's on the high street is Prada, and that's another one of her high street favourites. Up next, we have Next, which has been worn by Prince George on a number of occasions. Obviously, the royal family wear very, very many brands, but I've mentioned the ones that are either on the high street or the royal families in particular have fallen in love with. And obviously, there are so many more brands that they've fallen in love with, but I've just narrowed it down to a couple just to give you a taste of who our British royal family shop with. Prince George has worn ties from Next quite a lot. Princess Charlotte has also worn outfits from Next. Here she is wearing the Next pink t-shirt. Although we can't find any photos of the Princess of Wales actually wearing Next, reportedly she does wear Next as well, as does Prince William. And although we can't actually pinpoint where these suits came from, it's probably most likely that they are either from Next or another high-end sort of company that makes tailored suits. But Next in particular is known for their suits, especially for boys. So up next, we've got a very high-profile designer brand that the Princess of Wales absolutely loves. It's Alexander McQueen. So yes, the Princess of Wales is a big fan of Alexander McQueen. She's worn their headpieces at the coronation. She's worn, I think she's worn their clothing a number of times as well. But her most notable one was when she wore the headpiece, and it matched with Princess Charlotte, and that was made by Alexander McQueen. So the Princess of Wales, obviously, most of the time she wears quite practical clothing, but sometimes when she's on a royal tour or a special event or something like that, like the coronation or Trooping the Colour or something, she'll be seen wearing something that's more designer, and Alexander McQueen is definitely her go-to designer brand when she's out on tours and special events and stuff like that. So obviously Alexander McQueen is not on the high street, but it is designer, and it is another one of the Princess of Wales's favourite sort of brands that she wears at very high-profile royal events. You probably wouldn't find her scruffing around in the garden with her children wearing this, but you probably find her at a high-profile royal event wearing them. So Alexander McQueen caters for men and women, which means that Prince William could obviously get his suits from Alexander McQueen as well. But yes, they have a very, very, very like high profile sort of range, and lots of celebrities and royals wear them for events. Most royals opt for more designer clothing when they've got a special engagement or a royal tour, or they've got to have a state visit or some high profile state royal event. They usually wear designer clothing then. Up next, we're back to another one of the King's favourite brands with Turnbull and Asser. So yes, although it's not on the high street, it is one of the brands that is certified by the royal family. Turnbull and Asser is a custom shirt brand from England, and it was founded in 1885. His family was certified by the royal family in 1980, and it was also the first brand certified by King Charles. King Charles basically wears his shirts with his suits. Both Bond and Kingsman wear its shirt too. According to many people, these shirts are actually a symbol of Britain. Don't know why. That's probably how good they are. Anyway, and it says they're best for daily wear. As well as members of the royal family actually wearing this bespoke clothing, reportedly King Charles wears this clothing, and then obviously reportedly Prince William has also worn it, as has the Princess of Wales. Apparently they've had dressing gowns from this clothing company, which I think is super cool because they have gifts as well, which is really nice. But yes, back when King Charles III was the Prince of Wales, he actually appointed this company a royal warrant. We will most likely do a separate video about what a royal warrant is, but basically it's something that's appointed to a company that supplies goods to the royal family. Another royal with impeccable fashion is Lady Louise Windsor. At the coronation, she was seen wearing the Susanna London dress. This beautiful silk dress is apparently a bestseller for the brand, and Lady Louise's design is a new season update created in collaboration with celebrated French botanical photographer Rachel Levy. Obviously, Susanna London is another high-profile brand, which is very, very expensive because it's a boutique, but it is on the high street, so we'll mention it, but yes. Susanna London is obviously a small boutique. It actually does have a boutique somewhere in London, but it is another one of those brands that the royal family absolutely love. Another one of Lady Louise's favourite brands is the brand Hush. Lady Louise is definitely following in her mother's fashionable footsteps, as she was seen a couple of years ago in Easter service wearing this wonderful Hush dress. Lady Louise obviously paired this wonderful dress with a wonderful hat. Back a couple of years ago when she actually wore this dress, she matched the dress with a wonderful hat, which was sort of similar to her mother's hat as well, just a different colour. And sort of like a different style. Obviously, Hush is another, it's not a cheap brand, but it's like more in the affordable range. We've obviously been looking at brands previously that are like 3,000, 2,000, simply because of their prestige and, because they're tailored for clothing. The royal family do still use tailored for clothing. But again, they don't always wear, designer clothing. Sometimes they just wear a really cheap t-shirt. But of course, they don't always wear high-end boutiques all the time. A lot of royals do wear a lot of brands that you or I would wear, such as, high street brands, practical clothing, or non-designer clothing. And yeah. So obviously that brings us nicely onto our next brand we're going to speak about, and it's probably one you least expect, Sainsbury's. As mentioned previously, the royal family do still wear traditional and quite high-profile and expensive clothing to royal events and stuff like that. But again, just because they're royal doesn't mean that they don't go to the shops or the supermarket and go and buy a t-shirt or a pack of shirts there as well. It's been reported on a number of occasions that the Princess of Wales not only goes on her food shopping to Sainsbury's, but she also goes there to buy clothes for her children. And she sometimes brings her 3 children, George, Charlotte and Louis, along to pick out their next outfit. But also, the Princess of Wales also sports Sainsbury's quite a lot. Sainsbury's may do an array of amazing food, but their clothing is still top quality. So it's no wonder that the royal family love Sainsbury's. But it's not just Sainsbury's. The royal family have also been spotted on a number of occasions at Asda buying clothes and also Tesco's. Just shows you that the price doesn't matter to the royal family, they just love the style. Another one of the royal family's favourite footwear company is Crockett & Jones. King Charles has a very specific way that he likes to wear shoes. One way is where the laces don't particularly show or can be tucked in, and Crockett & Jones have just the shoe. Like many of their shoe brands, they are very high quality, they're made in Britain, and they're also handmade as well. And this is another one of the luxury sort of brands that the royal family sort of use. It's been given a royal warrant, and yeah, the royal family absolutely love this brand for their shoes. Up next on our list of royal clothing is Charles Tyrwhitt. James, Earl of Wessex, the Duke of Edinburgh, and the Prince of Wales are fans of this brand. And also King Charles. While James, the Earl of Wessex, has been sporting their famous ties, the Prince of Wales has been sporting their lovely shirts. So yes, for those who don't know, Charles Tyrwhitt is a British multi-channel men's clothing retailer specialising in dress shirts, as well as ties, suits, casual wear, shoes and accessories. And it was founded as a mail order company in 1986 by Nicholas Charles Tyrwhitt Wheeler. So yes, Charles Tyrwhitt has won royal awards before, and it is also on most high streets. You can probably find a Charles Tyrwhitt near you. But yes, it is also online if you can't get to a Charles Tyrwhitt, and they have an affordable price range. It's not too expensive, but it's not too cheap as well. It's in the middle. Coming up next, we have Ralph Lauren. So Ralph Lauren seems to be a massive hit with many members of the royal family, but especially the royal children. They've been seen in their coats, jumpers, polo shirts. I mean, they've been seen wearing coats at, high-profile rugby games, as seen in the photo above, and we've seen on photo shoots for their birthdays wearing Ralph Lauren, out and about for, volunteering. Princess Charlotte last year for the big help out, she wore one of their jumpers. She's worn them for winter photo shoots. The jumpers just seem to be a massive hit with, especially Prince George and Princess Charlotte. And they absolutely love them. It's definitely a fan favourite among the royal family. Last but not least on this amazing list, we have Nike. And most high streets now have a Nike store, and lots of young people love going into Nike and buying the next trending trainer, and the royal family, and especially the royal children, are no different. They love it. So yes, that marks the end of this video about the royally approved clothing. So this is clothing that the royals have worn before, and currently shop at regularly. So I'm hoping that gives you a snippet into sort of their taste and, sort of what they like to wear. So yes, we hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching. We love and appreciate you all, and we are blown away by all the support every single day, so thank you so much. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!